Hi guys, welcome to the Unplugged In channel. I'm Tom Petie, and tonight we've got another show of a poor man's Jools Holland. I'm so excited. We've got two amazing guests tonight. We've got the wonderful Tom Lumley and we've got Eli Bre. I'm so excited. They're going to be playing some tunes. I'm going to be having a bit of a chat to them, and they'll also be answering any questions that you've got for them. Thanks everyone that's tuning in at the minute. Let us know you're here. Post a little comment in the chat. Also, if you like what you watch, then click the subscribe button on if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're watching on Facebook, press the like button on the Unplugged In page. I will say it's all live, so if there's any technical difficulties or we cock up, then I'm sorry. Bear with us. But yeah. So without further ado, we've got the Cambridge rock legend himself. I can see him now, and you'll be able to see him in 2 seconds. He's Mr. Tom Lumley. Tom, you're now live. How are you doing? You alright? Not too bad. I'm alright. You look like you're in a bathroom cubicle at the minute. Where are you? No. Well, it's good to see you. And you're looking well, and yeah, very vibrant and beautiful. Thank you. Well, yeah, we met each other, was it 7 or 8 years ago now? I think. And you'd, at that point, you'd just appeared in Cambridge yourself as well, as I had. And I first came across you playing an open mic night. With a man with an acoustic guitar and a bag of songs, and then now you're not that same boy anymore. You're a rock god and legend, Tom Lumley. Well, so yeah, you started off playing acoustic songs, playing a singer-songwriter, and now you play with the Brave Liaison. Where did the Brave Liaison come from, by the way? Yeah. Oh, nice. Wow, I really like it. Now, but yeah, we'll have more of a chat about the band in a couple of minutes. I was really curious though to know, from those early days playing an acoustic guitar, singing your own songs, to the sound you have now. Did you always imagine those songs sounding with this big full sound, or when you wrote them, did you were you a singer-songwriter then that's then developed into a big fuck-off rock star, or Oh, give me a sec, we've got a technical difficulty. Let me can't hear Tom. Let me just make sure I've got my mic turned off. Sorry, bear with me, guys. Right, apologies for that. I didn't bring Tom in at the beginning. So now, if you could do me a favour and just comment, Tom, say a little word and just double check that we can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me now? Are we going?
Yep, you should be all live now. Apologies for that, guys. There was actually some really interesting answers there, Tom, and we've just missed them. I mean, the joys of doing a live show are sometimes it cocks up, and I had done a wonderful prelude. Okay, cool. Right, yes, we can see and hear him now.
Perfect. That is good.
Right, I'm sorry about that, guys. So, Tom, let's start again. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And yourself?
Not too bad. So, I mean, this must have sounded very strange because people have just heard one side of the conversation without the other one. So,
just you talking.
Yeah, just me talking.
Yourself.
So so for the people that have listened, let's kind of recap some of it. So where did the Brave Liaison, where did the name come from?
So it was after the last tour we did before we changed the name. We kind of decided halfway through the tour that we are a band, we work as a band. So the boys needed a name. And we were on a car journey back and we'd all come up with kind of lists with a few names, and we just picked the name off of Jake's list. Just because we liked it, and that was it. Yeah, and then they've been the Brave Liaison ever since.
So that was one of the questions that they only heard half of the answer to. The next one was, did you envision the songs that you were writing right at the beginning when I met you in the open mic night?
Yeah, I mean, like the songs now are very different to them because I write with Jake. Jake writes some of the songs himself and I write some myself as well, and then we write some together. So they're definitely different to what they were then. I think it's definitely gone up a level from when I first met you. But yeah, back then I always knew that I wanted it to be a band and to have more of a band sound. That was what I was into. Like the first gig I went to was Iron Maiden, and then I kind of got into Arctic Monkeys and more down the indie route. So yeah, I think that definitely reflects in the music we're playing now. We're a bit more of a rock band, and that's definitely how I wanted it to be.
Right, and I think that puts us back to level pegging there. And Tom, I'm sorry about that, and for everyone that's watching, apologies for that slight cock up there. You're logging in to see Tom Lumley. You don't just want to see me talk to myself.
I'd log into that, Tom.
But yeah, and I suppose so. Moving on, what was so now you've got the band, and now you've got this amazing sound. My question was, do you go in, and you kind of answered this one, but do you go in with a song and you know exactly how that's going to come out, or is kind of part of the process now taking it in and seeing what the other members will do to that song, and does it come out looking anything like you bring it in?
Yeah, it's always, if it's something I've wrote myself, it changes a lot when I take it. Jake's also a producer, so we're very lucky to have a studio space that we can kind of constantly use. So when I take a track into Jake and then we demo it and we put the drums and stuff behind it, normally just me and Jake first, it'll change loads and vice versa sort of thing. And then once me and Jake get a rough demo down, we share it with the boys, we send it to them, and we see what they think. There's also times where we'll be in a rehearsal and Jake will play a new riff that he's come up with, and we'll all sort of say, oh, this would work or that would work, and have a little comments. It really depends, it's really different, but generally, yeah, it will be demoed first between myself and Jake, and tracks, I think when you take them from, especially if it's a track that I've done just me and an acoustic guitar, and then you take them and put them with a full band sound, it's always going to change. And you can kind of envision how you think it's going to go, but there's times when you've just got to let the track do what it wants to do instead of trying to force it to be something that it's not. So yeah, it always depends. Always depends on the track.
Oh, nice. And I know from personal experience and talking to a lot of people trying to make it in music that they want to do exactly what you've done, which is kind of assemble the Avengers, get them all together, and have that kind of writing process where you can all come together and put something out in the end. How did you kind of put them all? How did you kind of get them all together? Did it all just fate collide? And would you have any advice for people, younger people? I know we're still young, Tom. But would you have any advice for younger people wanting to start a band?
I think the best thing that you can do is whatever stage you're at is get out, gig, go to open mic nights like where we met. You've just got to meet people, because essentially all three members of the band that I brought in, none of them knew each other, but I knew all of them. I knew Jake from him coming to a couple of gigs that I'd done, and he'd mentioned to me about recording with him, and I knew that he also played, so it was a no-brainer straight away to bring Jake in. Johnny was a mate of mine's brother, and Billy, the bassist, I was doing a gig, an acoustic set in London, and his band, he was in another band in London at the time, and they were on afterwards. So yeah, definitely I think the best thing to do is get out, meet people, and with these people, like I knew Johnny well, I knew Billy really well. After that night I went on to play several gigs with Billy's band as a support act, and them coming and supporting me in Cambridge as well. So I got to know Billy really well, and I think it's good to know that you get on with them first, because although the boys hadn't met each other and it could have gone completely wrong, they could have hated each other, I got lucky in the sense that they do get on, but at the same time I knew them all slightly as characters, and I knew that they were all decent people. So yeah, definitely just get out and gig, and you'll meet musicians that are up for it, really.
Oh yeah, no, I know the feeling of hoping it'll go all right when you put them all together.
Yeah,
it's
you just worry like that one of them's going to do something that really annoys the other one, and it's just there's been obviously times that we've had disagreements about certain things, but that's part of being in a band. It's very rare though as a band if we ever have an argument, and if we do, it only tends to be because we're all so passionate about what we're doing and we want it to be right. That's all it is.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, and I sometimes I describe trying to put musicians together as a bit like those two pandas in the Scottish Zoo, where they brought one over from China, and they this is a random story. Well, no, pandas can only mate at a certain time every 10 years or something. I might be making this up as I go along. And you're kind of there. And it's a bit like sticking two guitarists in the same room, because it's like you're just hoping the mood's set right and they get on, and they
especially if you're sticking two lead guitarists together in a room. That's that could be tricky, because they always have their own way of wanting to do things or stuff like that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's worked for you, and it's all, well, not two lead guitarists, but the band all clicking together and gelling, and yeah, I've seen you live, I've listened to all your stuff, and yeah, it's absolutely, I absolutely love it.
Thank you, man.
Apparently, you got a song for us now, and you got one from an older one.
Well, I was gonna do an older one, but we've had a palaver. And the only older one that I could kind of remember from when we used to do the open mic nights, I need a capo, and my capo is in Jake's studio. So, unfortunately, it's not an older one.
Oh, but you could just sing everything lower.
I could try that, but
no, it's all right.
It was already like quite low as it was. It was before I probably pushed my voice, and I was too scared to. So, I'll do like kind of the oldest band track that we kind of play still at the moment. So yeah, this one's called Crawling. You want me back, so now I'm crawling back on my hands and my knees. You want me back, so now I'm crawling, 'cause I'm a fool that can't resist that tease.
You got me locked up in my feelings. Now you've got me messed up on your life. You've got me tied up to your parents' bed, and I don't know how I'm alive. You want me back, so now I'm crawling back on my hands and my knees. You want me back, so now I'm crawling, 'cause I'm a fool that can't resist that tease. I'm feeling tired, broken with no remedy. It's time to wake up. And no solution, I'm feeling like democracy. It's time to get out so I can breathe. You want me back, so now I'm crawling back on my hands and my knees. You want me back, so now I'm crawling, 'cause I'm a fool that can't resist that tease. You want me back, so now I'm crawling back on my hands and my knees. You want me back, so now I'm crawling, 'cause I'm a fool that can't resist that tease. Thank you. We've lost Tom.
Oh no, I'm back.
Here
no,
he
that
is.
was that's amazing, and yeah. Oh, again, sorry guys for the technical glitch. Hopefully we're. I'm hoping everyone heard how awesome that was, and judging by the comments, you've got David Parker. Damn, sounding good, Tom.
Is this on?
Christine Lumley. You've got yes, one of my favourites.
That's definitely not my mum. I'm gonna. Are the comments coming in on Facebook? Because I'm gonna put my phone so I can see the comments. If that's cool.
They're on Facebook and YouTube, so I'll read them out as they come in. You've got
Perfect.
Fiona S. Good one, Tom lad. Sounding class as always. Where's Fiona from?
Fiona is one.
That's written with an accent.
She's awesome. She's probably she's up there with the best. The best of the cream of the crop is Fiona, and she's I believe she's from like Yorkshire originally, but she lives out near Birmingham way.
Okay.
And but that doesn't stop her coming to gigs everywhere in the country. She's been everywhere.
Hey, Tom, you've got your own.
I've just realised.
You've got your own groupies.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else then. I realised that I'd actually clicked on the stream and I was watching myself on the phone whilst. Anyways, back to it. Yeah, Fiona, Fee's great. She's a legend. Shout out to her.
We've got a comment from Carol as well. First time hearing you, love it.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you very much.
So, right, and then I'm going to play one of your music videos now.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if you want. I haven't actually asked you if you want to do a little intro for him, but I'm going to play Shrink.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say about this before I play it?
Shrink was probably the hardest video to do because it followed on from Casual, which was the first one we did with Sam Lance, who I think we're going to talk about in a bit. And Casual went down so well, so this one was a worrying one. I think it came out pretty well.
Well, let's check it out, and yeah, we'll have a bit of chat about the music videos because I think they're really cool. And yeah, let's check out the first one.
I need to get some rest. It's all in my head. I need to get some sleep and just learn to breathe. Well, that's what she said. I need to take some time and take the weight off my mind because I'm losing touch. This is all too much. Oh, this is my life in decline. She's trying to help with my mind. She's trying to fix what she finds, but I don't think it's helping at all.
back. No, Shrink. I love the videos. They're absolutely amazing.
Thank you, man.
During that little break, we were just talking about you want to do a little shout out for someone, don't you?
Yeah, I saw in the comments Nikki's tuned in, and the Parker household. So it was Nikki's birthday a couple of days ago. So just a little happy birthday, Nikki, and I hope you had a great day.
Do you want to sing happy birthday?
I think I'll leave that. No one needs to hear that.
But yeah, so going back to having a bit of a chat about the band, how are they all? How?
They're good, I believe. I mean,
how...
I did actually. Recording studios are still allowed to be open, and obviously we have to keep really socially distant. So we were in the studio a few weeks ago. So I have seen them since the new year, but kind of through a window from one room into another room in a recording studio. So I've not really seen them properly, but they all seem good. Johnny and Billy are both still constantly working away, and Jake being a producer, the same for him. He's still doing a lot of remote stuff with people sending in things for him to mix, which is good. So the work aside from the band is still continuing. Yeah, and hopefully we can properly get back onto the road soon together.
Well, that was and before all this, the big change in the world, things were looking really, really good for the Brave Liaison, and you guys were playing festivals, doing big gigs, and then yeah, and obviously this has taken a little pause. But yeah, what were we up to before, and then and what's next for you guys when you come out of this?
Yeah, it's a hard one. Like, we kind of had a really good festival season, had a really good tour. We sold out some venues that we didn't think we would, like the J2 in Cambridge. Played our first gig in Brighton. The last gig we actually did, I think, was our first gig in Brighton, 200 cap venue, and that sold out, which was insane. So it was really felt like things were starting to happen. And then we had loads of festival bookings coming in. We were going to have a massive summer last year, and then boom, the world went mad. So it's been a hard one. We've tried to keep on releasing music. We released music throughout the first two lockdowns. We're going to continue to release music. We've been writing so much. So there's definitely a lot to come from us on the release side of things this year. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I know Glastonbury's gone, but hopefully some of the smaller festivals will be able to go ahead maybe towards the end of the year, like August, September. So hopefully we'll get a few of them in. And hopefully by October, November time, if the vaccine rollout works, we'll be in venues again in some sort of form. So for us, it's just a matter of keeping going like we were before. As soon as we can get out, gig as much as we can, play as many festivals as we can, we're ready to, and we will go. That's it really for us.
Well, hopefully we're in the kind of home straight for all this now, and as always, a big thanks to everyone out there, all the essential workers, all of the. I work for an NHS charity in the day. That's what I do when I'm not being a wannabe radio DJ. And yeah, to all my colleagues, a huge thank you for everything you're doing. One day we'll get back to playing music and doing what we love. But you've been releasing songs throughout this. So we're going to play one of those in a few minutes. And I absolutely love it. By the way, I'm gonna intro it by just saying I absolutely love the new song. But before then, do you want to just play us a song that got you through COVID? Not got you through COVID. We're still going through COVID, but you've written in the last or.
I'm gonna play a track which is called Casual. It was on the EP which we released in the first lockdown. It was our debut EP. Goes by the name of Sign of the Times, and this was a track that it had been released before we decided to do the EP, but it felt like the first stepping stone for us to kind of push on and go to the next level. It got us our first Radio 1 plays. It got us picked by Hugh Stevens last year as ones to watch on Radio 1, Radio X playlisted. So it's a track that I think really helped us find our sound, opened some doors before everything went mad. So it's definitely with it being on the EP in lockdown, it's a song that resonates for me as being really important. So I'm gonna play casual for you.
We're leaving it as is casual. Let's talking about it simple. We're trying to disguise the issue. You want something more than this because you're hasty. And I don't think that you realize that you're hasty. And I've been seeing signs. Red flags are propping up all the time. It's something we don't talk about. It's just a sign of the times we won't let it out. It's something we don't talk about. It's just a conversation we could do without. We're leaving it as it's casual. We won't talk it out. It's simple. And we're best off ignoring the issue. Yet you're still wanting more than this because you're hasty. And I don't think that you realize that you're hasty. And I've been seeing signs. Red flags are propping up all the time. It's something we don't talk about. It's just a sign of the times we won't let it out. It's something we don't talk about. It's just a conversation we could do without. It's something we don't talk about. It's just a sign of the times we won't let it out. It's something we don't talk about. It's just a conversation. It's something we don't talk about. It's just a sign of the times we won't let it out. It's something we don't talk about. It's just a conversation we could do without.
Thank you.
Yeah, who's got the power now? Take the negatives and stamp them out. Now we don't get the easy life. We were living 2 steps from the edge of a knife. We were living 2 steps from the edge of a knife. It's like they say when we break down. We reach out for help and they let us drown. Now we're pulling up the roots of this old town, building it anew with our new sound. They must have known we want better than this. We'll take what's ours cause we're taking the risk. It's only the fools that think they're stopping it. It's only the fools that think they're stopping this. We get the feeling we're not heard, so we protest. And the ignorant that live it as a process. Now we ain't bleeding for the easy life, but we were living 2 steps from the edge of the knife. It's like they say when we break down. We reach out for help and they let us drown. Now we're pulling up the roots of this old town, building it anew with our new sound. They must have known we want better than this. We'll take what's ours cause we're taking the risk. It's only the fools that think they're stopping it. It's only the fools that think they're stopping this. It's like they say when we break down. We reach out for help and they let us drown. Now we're pulling up the roots of this old town, building it anew with our new sound. It's like they say when we break down. We reach out for help this old town, building it anew with a new sound. They must have known we want better than this. We'll take what's ours, cause we're taking the risk. It's only the fools that think they're stopping it. It's only the fools that think they're stopping this.
How are we going? How's the video
Right,
going?
we're back in.
Sweet.
No, they've just seen your latest video.
Yeah.
And yeah, as we were just talking about while that was playing, I absolutely love that song. I love the video, I love the song, I love the energy. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Thank you, man.
But I thought it might be a good chance to have a chat about the captions at the end, because obviously the song is quite obviously written about something and written with a message.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. I mean, the song, it was a track that we wrote in lockdown, in one of the first lockdowns last year, and it's with everything that was going on with BLM protests, with seeing the world slowly heal itself in places for the first time in years, simply because people weren't allowed to go out, and seeing how what we're actually doing as humans to the world. It just all these sort of problems come together for us. That was one massive problem, which is we can do better than this, and that's why it has got that name. It literally is just a message to everyone to kind of think a bit more and think what we can do to change this world for the better, make it a place where, I mean, it blows my mind that literally last night, a Chelsea player called Reece James had messages calling him the most disgusting racial stuff that I've seen in a long time, and professional footballer is getting sent stuff like that still. It's just beyond me. So there's so many things. I think this pandemic as well is as terrible as it's been. It's been a horrible situation, obviously. I feel lucky, like you say, everyone that's been working for the NHS, like, thank you so much. Everyone in the hospitals, all the key workers that have done amazing jobs. It's been so much harder on them than some of us, but I think it has made a lot of people realise what this world is at the moment, how obsessed everyone is with social media, just being on their phones, no care really for the environment around us. It's probably made a few more people realise that racism is still something that is there in everyday society, even still in our country. Everyone thinks it is just maybe a problem still in America, and I think what's happened has shown it's still everywhere. So yeah, the track is just let's all stand up together, and especially for my generation and younger, the new youngsters that are coming through, that let's do what we can instead of just letting the world get worse and worse.
Yeah, and it's a brilliant a brilliant message, really. And I suppose, like you, I agree that there have been a lot of positives that have come out of this very difficult period, and for a lot of us, it's been a time to kind of take stock and look at what we can change and what we can do, and whether that's within ourselves or in society. And now I suppose it's just the key is do we carry a lot of that forward, and what comes out the back end of this.
Yeah.
And And does everything that happened last year make long-lasting change?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. That's not a question. That's not. That's a.
But it's a good point though, because like you're saying, with like what I said about the environment and how like there's things that you see now that you hadn't seen in ages. Certain animals in major cities that you wouldn't have seen walking around a city, or I think was it in Venice or something like that. There was dolphins going down the river again, and they not. I don't know what water it is that goes through there, but just things like that you wouldn't see that normally, and that is just because the world had been given time to breathe. And although obviously things are gonna go back to a bit more normality eventually, and a lot of things are gonna happen, I think we could all be a little bit more conscious of what we do for sure, and try and keep it better.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And I think that video gets the. I think it's a brilliant video, and I love the. What do you call it when you the words after the video? It's not the foreword, the credits. I don't know. But yeah, I think the message after is very poignant, and yeah, and you and on those videos, in fact, all of the videos, they're all very, very good. They're all very stylized, very artistic. This one gets a great message across, but that's now seemingly a big part of what Tom Lumley and the Brave Liaison do. They create these incredible music videos. How do they come about?
So we work with a guy called Sam Lance. He's the producer of all of our videos now, and he has well and truly become the fifth member of this band. He's amazing. Some of the ideas that he comes up with. There's videos where there's things that we know we want in them, and there's videos or parts of videos where we just let him go crazy. And the ideas that he comes up with, he is literally a genius. So every video is different. The first one, which was for Casual, it was a weird one. Sam got on board. We knew Sam, we'd met him, and then we got a phone call to be asked to go and record a live session at Maida Vale for BBC Introducing, which was mind-blowing. And it was, I think we got the phone call like 4 days before or something like that, on like the Wednesday, and we had to be there on the Sunday. And we needed someone to come down with us to get we wanted someone to come down with us to get some footage. It was like obviously a once in a lifetime experience, and we didn't want that to go missed without us having footage that we could keep ourselves. So Sam, our manager, had worked with Sam quite a bit. That's how we'd met him, and contacted him, and he was straight away up for it. And that day when we were traveling to and from London, we talked about doing a video, and Sam just said that he unfortunately didn't have the time in his schedule to fit in the video for when we needed it. Then we went back home and walked into Casual set in a house of a family member of mine, and we walked into that house, and Sam was just like, "We can do a video," and we were like, "Okay." And it's Casual. If I'm not sure if you're going to be playing it, Tom, or but if anyone wants to go and see it.
I've got it.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Well, it's a one-take video, and that was how we had time to do it. Literally, we rehearsed for a whole day, half a day, and then in the evening of that day, did it in one take. So it was less editing for Sam. It didn't need as much of his time, and it was one day shooting, so it was pretty quick. And then from then on, Sam he started coming on tours with us, started filming footage on the tours. He's been doing all of our promo shots, everything. He has literally become a member of the band, and we're very grateful to young Sam for everything he's done. So yeah, all the videos, how they come about, everyone's different, but they all stem from Sam being a genius.
Well, yeah, and someone like that, their input and what they create is kind of invaluable to, because kind of music is one thing, and then getting out there and using videos is the kind of other art form that then gets out to the wider world, and people see you as well. So they see Tom Lumley, and for all those people that can't go to your shows, they now have a new kind of really cool outlet to be able to see the band, see the style, see the image. and how kind of style conscious are you? Is there a look that you want to the to Tom Lumley and the Brave Liaison, or?
Yeah, we definitely think about what we wear in the videos. As you'll see, Shrink was a bit of a more we wore the sort of image that we have, which is kind of a standard indie rock band, I guess. Black jeans and black leather jackets and shirts and stuff. So that's definitely kind of our image, I'd say, and what comes across in that video. But the other videos, like with Better Than This, as you saw, we were all wearing the black jackets with the red banners round our arms with the kind of random spray paint logo that we made for the back of them. And then with casual, as people will see, we're in like all the boys are in white and I'm in like a black trousers, suit trousers with a white shirt. So the image that we put on the videos is definitely something that we take a lot of time to think about. Essentially, what we found with casual was the image was kind of so strong, I think, and grabbed people's attention that video did so well because of that. And it got a lot more people listening to our music and a lot more blogs and websites and stuff wanting to share the video and stuff. So I think it's really important. It's something we take seriously, and Sam's really good with his direction with that as well, telling us, he comes up with some great ideas and kind of tells us what will and won't work. So
yeah, no, absolutely. And I'll be playing casual in a second on the stream, but as you're about to do, your links are in the description of this event, or whether you're watching on YouTube or whether you're watching on Facebook. You can find Tom Lumley stuff if you don't know about him already. Check him out: Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. What else have you got? What else is there? But all of the things he's got. I think his YouTube and his Spotify are in the description. Talking about your image, there's a wonderful comment from Ross Abrahams. Looking skinnier, Tom. Looking skinnier, Tom.
Of course he would. He's just a mate from school. Not really from school, but growing up. And yeah, our group chat at the moment is most of us trying to lose weight. So it's nice of him to notice. Cheers, mate. And I also know that he'll be doing it to take the mick out of me. But there we go. That's what makes a four.
Yeah, we've got some other good comments and people enjoying the stream and your music. That guitar solo from Jake from Fiona. Can't wait to see you guys live. Thanks for the birthday shout out. David Parker asks, album by the end of the year.
By the end of the year.
You got 11 months. You got quite a while.
I don't think it's necessarily the matter of we've definitely got the songs. I think we've just got to pick the right time, and when we feel we're ready to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, I think I'll be one of the first to buy it. And I think lots of people, by the look of it, lots of people in the stream will pre-order it. Can you get it on vinyl? I love it.
If we do an album, it will definitely be on vinyl. That's definitely something
nice.
I want to make that happen one day. I want to have our music on vinyl. I love vinyls.
Lisa Fiddler, fab to listen to you, Tom. Fingers crossed all this is over soon. The band can continue. We've got a message from Ben James Simmons. Do Stormzy. Big for your boots. Do you do a Stormzy cover?
No, I don't. Ben's also part of the group of friends that Ross Abrahams is. So yeah, he knows that I would not sing Stormzy. Nothing against Stormzy. It's just not. I haven't got it in me. I
was going to say I couldn't imagine you doing a Stormzy song. We've got David.
Go on.
We've got David Parker. Love this. We've got Katie was talking about powerful. And David Parker also such a powerful video, which is talking about the Better Than This. Absolutely brilliant. We've got loads of comments. Proud uncle from Andrew Lance.
From who?
Andrew Lance.
Is that related to Sam? I feel really bad. I'm going to feel really bad now, but I'm sure I haven't got an uncle called Andrew. I'm just kidding.
People are having a chat thingy, I think. So.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah.
I think Andrew Lance is. I think I found him, and he is Sam's uncle, which is cool. Yes. Sam's awesome.
Ah, right. Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Sam Lance, proud uncle. Right, I need to get better at reading the comments as they come in rather than going back, so that it makes sense in the context.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you everyone that's watching and everyone that's tuning in. If you like what you see, then I've just said Tom's details are in the bio. But also, if you like the show, go to the Unplugged In Facebook page, click the like. We'll be doing one of these every fortnight. Next time I've got one on Valentine's Day. I'm going to be doing a little Valentine's Day show. Or if you're watching on YouTube, click the subscribe button. I'll be doing more of these. Tom, we're nearly at the end. But stick around, because I'm going to bring you both back at the end of it. And if anyone's got any questions for Tom, then just stick them in the comments. And when I bring Ellie and Tom back, he'll be able to answer any of your questions. He's looking a bit nervous at the minute.
No, I'm good. Yeah, I'm more than up for that. That's cool.
But yeah, hopefully you've got a couple of songs left for us.
Yep, we can do that.
Cool. Well, do you want to play us out with 2 songs, and then I'll be bringing the best import from Switzerland since the Toblerone.
I do agree with that. Very true. Not a lie was said.
But yeah, Tom, play us some more wonderful tunes.
Okay, I'm going to do an acoustic version of a track that you've shown the video for, which is Shrink. So yeah, I'm going to show kind of a different side to it.
I need to get some rest. It's all in my head. I need to get some sleep and just learn to breathe. Oh, that's what she said. I need to take some time and take the weight off my mind, because I'm losing touch. This is all too much. Oh, this is my life in decline. She's trying to help with my mind. She's trying to fix what she finds, but I don't think it's helping at all. No, I don't think it's helping. I take it. They say I'm never shake it. I'm fighting with no energy. I am my worst enemy. I take it. They say I'm never shake it. I'm fighting with no energy. I am my worst enemy. I'm giving it all that I have. I'm leaving it all where I stand, but I ain't really moving at all. No, I ain't really moving at all. How did I get so lost? It's like my mind's tying knots. While my life comes undone, my head's on the run. I'm running with these thoughts I've got. How do I stop these clocks rolling on while I just get blocked from the life that I want, the things I've not got? I'm feeling like the laughing stock. She's trying to help with my mind. She's trying to fix what she finds, but I don't think it's helping at all. No, I don't think it's helping. I take it. They say I'll never shake it. I'm fighting with no energy. I am my worst enemy. I take it. They say I'll never shake it. I'm fighting with no energy. I am my worst enemy. I'm giving it all that I have. I'm leaving it all where I stand, but I ain't really moving at all. No, I ain't really moving at all. I take it. They say I'll never shake it. I'm fighting with no energy. I am my worst enemy. I take it. They say I'll never shake it. I'm fighting with no energy. I am my worst enemy. I'm giving it all that I have. I'm leaving it all where I stand, but I ain't really moving at all. No, I ain't really moving at all.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to do one more for you before the incredible Ellie comes on with Tom. And I'm going to do a track which is the first single that that we released as a band, and it goes by the name of Chardonnay.
She's facing days by trying to wake up. She hides her bruises with a face that's full of makeup. Feels lost inside, can't hide the feeling. It's why she's drinking from the bottle every evening. She's calling out for help, no one hears her, stumbling through the days. She's drinking through the pain, no one sees her, hidden and locked away. It never lasts alone, but it gets her high. It's all she needs in the middle of the night. Never lasts alone, but it gets her high. It's all she needs in the middle of the night. So many days and hours wasted. She doesn't get the help she needs to try and save it. Lost in the haze with blurry feelings. The repetition that she's living every evening. She's calling out for help, no one hears her, stumbling through the days. She's drinking through the pain, no one sees her, hidden and locked away. It never lasts alone, but it gets her high. That's all she needs in the middle of the night. Never lasts alone, but it gets her high. That's all she needs in the middle of the night. In the middle of the night, she's calling. In the middle of the night, she's screaming. Calling out for help, no one hears her, stumbling through the days. She's drinking through the pain, no one sees her, hidden and locked away. It never lasts alone, but it gets her high. That's all she needs in the middle of the night. Never lasts alone, but it gets her high. That's all she needs in the middle of the night. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Oh, it was beautiful, Tom. Absolutely beautiful. I love your music, and by the looks of all the comments and from usually all the screaming girls at your concerts, I know that you've got a lot of fans out there, and other people appreciate your music and what you do, and the rest of the band. We've had Nora O'Shea, who's someone I work with. Great singing. She's going to tune in for the Valentine's Day one day as well. Paul Litchfield, Little Child. God, I can't read. Paul Littlechild, nice. Great performance, Tom, from Slava Belikov.
Yeah, Slava.
Nikki Parker, go on, Tom. And David Parker, brilliant, heart. So yeah, no, Tom, thank you so much for coming on the show and playing some wonderful tunes and having a bit of a chat. And yeah, I hope you've had a good time. And yeah, stick around because we'll bring you back with Ellie, and we'll bring both of you back on to for any questions at the end. If that's all right.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, man.
All right, cool. Right, we're gonna play Tom out with one of his videos. He's already played this song, and it'd be quite when you when you do the you go from the acoustic version, and now I've listened to the band version many times, and I found myself playing air drums for most of the song when you're playing on guitar. So I want to be in your band as well. Please let me be in your band. But yeah, right. So I'm going to play Casual on the video. So and then after the break, we'll be bringing Eli Bre in.
We're leaving it as it's casual. Let's talking about it. It's simple. We're trying to disguise the issue. You want something more than this because you're hasty. And I don't think that you realize that you're hasty. I've been seeing signs, red flags are popping up all the time.
Hello. Right, we're back. And that was Tom Lumley, the incredible Tom Lumley, the amazing rock star, rock god of Cambridge, Tom Lumley. He's he's absolutely amazing. We are going to bring Eli Bre in now. Unfortunately, I have done something daft, which is I've got carried away with chatting to Tom in the break, and haven't quite brought in Ellie yet. So I'm going to play one of her tunes to bring her in now. But yeah, as I said earlier, the best export from Switzerland since the Toblerone. She's absolutely amazing. She's going to sing us some songs. She's going to have a bit of a chat with us. Yeah, I'm going to play one of her songs and then I'll bring her in.
Lost when my eyes first met his. He flicked his fingers and I stood beside, piercing blue eyes and a mane like a lion. It felt like a lion strike when he put his hand in mine. down south in a country no one knows. A poor old lonely soul once more slowly grows, trying to forget her past and a crime. Kate McCann tells us if I'm not yours, I'm mine. But you know I really loved him, dear, and that makes it all okay. If I chose to break the law for him, I had no choice because you didn't want it.
Right, there we go. That's Eli Bre, and wonderfully, I'm paying attention this time, and I got a little bit caught up before in the break that I was supposed to bring Ellie in. I ended up chatting to Tom, so we've played one of her wonderful songs a little bit earlier than expected, but wonderfully now I have Eli Bre, who we're going to bring in. Ellie, you're now live. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you, Tom?
Not too bad. I billed you. I don't know whether you heard earlier on the show. I billed you as the best export from Switzerland since the Toblerone, and now that's the third time I've said that joke, and it's because I'm mildly proud of it.
It's very good. I've heard other people recite it because it was in the description of the event, so people have picked up on it, and I think they agree. So good job.
Well, and that was, I mean. So people probably already know that you're from Switzerland, and that was pretty much one of the first kind of topics of conversation that I wanted to have a chat with you, really. Which, because people have just, actually, let's start with some wonderful comments. We've had Nora O'Shea, excellent, thank you. We've had Carol, wow, this is amazing, loving this. Nora O'Shea, beautiful voice. Amy Winterbourne, we've had amazing Eli Bre. And Chris Kelly has put a wonderful clapping hands. So yeah, you've already got some love.
Well, maybe that's still for Tom though.
No, that's
No?
that's for you.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Tom had lots and lots of love, but those came in when your songs were playing. So that's for you.
Brilliant.
Don't be like, no, it's all for Tom. No, that was for you.
Oh yeah, I forgot that we've actually already played a song, right? Yeah.
But yeah, so you play genre-wise. I'd kind of describe your kind of country and bluegrass as country and blues as kind of style. So how would you describe your genre?
Well,
folk, blues, country.
Yeah, it's quite hard, but I kind of settled on bluesy folk for a while. But then also it's an evolving thing. So some songs like the ones you've just heard is clearly kind of in the country genre, whereas others are more clearly blues, but then I've got some that maybe kind of drift a bit into the rock realm. And it's funny because Tom, he mentioned that the first gig he ever went to was Iron Maiden, and Iron Maiden, they're a band that I listened to when I was, since I was very little, and so I could identify with that. So yeah, there's many different influences, and I find it really hard to define my genre. It's kind of an evolving thing.
We're gonna have a chat a little bit later about the evolution of Eli Bre, but I want to kind of start by looking at the beginnings, the origins of Eli Bre, and the your Swiss roots, and because I don't know how many people from back in Switzerland are listening at the moment, but I'm willing to bet that quite a lot of them are your fans from the rest of the world. And so yeah, just what's the music scene like in Switzerland? And is the music you play? Where did that inspiration come from? Does everyone sing this kind of music in Switzerland, or is this were you the black sheep, or whatever the phrase is?
Well, I can say that definitely not everybody in Switzerland plays that kind of music, but maybe personally, I grew up with listening to a lot of didgeridoo when I was little, because my dad, he used to import didgeridoos from Australia and play them at home, of course. And we still have, I don't know, about 15 didgeridoos at home. And my brother then started playing that as well. So that's kind of the very early sound I was exposed to. But then my dad and my brother also kind of played a lot of blues guitar. So that's certainly an influence I got from very, very early on. But generally in Switzerland, the music scene, we don't have that kind of pop culture that you have in England. So there's not live music on every corner. And that's probably one reason why I liked it so much here in Cambridge, and also why I eventually came back here. But yeah, the music scene is, you really have to look for it if you're not in it already, I think. But one thing that's great about it is that they just recently started this network for female musicians to kind of push women in music, and I really love that idea, because obviously there's still a lot less women going out there and playing their own music or producing music or whatever. So I guess that's one really good thing that I can say about the Swiss music scene.
Oh, nice. I mean, I did not know you were going to say that your father was a didgeridoo importer, and
yeah, it's quite exotic, isn't it?
Is there a didgeridoo in any of your? Have you recorded a didgeridoo on any of your songs on Spotify?
Not so far.
And does your father think this is sacrilege, or?
No, I think he'd love that. You know, certain like drop D or dat gat tunes, you know, where you can just have that didgeridoo pulse under it. I think he would love to do that. And I know that I think on one of the tracks, so my brother plays music as well, and on one of his tracks there's a didgeridoo on it. So it's not a sacrilege. It's a great idea, and maybe one day I'll get around to having him play some didgeridoo on one of my tracks.
Well, and for everyone listening, the links to Ellie's music are in the bio, and whilst listening to the amazing songs of Eli Bre, just see if you can imagine where the didgeridoo would fit into our current list of songs. We've already had some comments. We've had hey Ellie, great to listen to you live again. This is from oh god, I'm going to be terrible with pronouncing names. Giacomo.
Yeah, just say Jack.
Jack. What?
I say Jack.
I mean, to be fair, I actually love trying to pronounce people's names. It's something that I take pride in, trying to learn how to say people's names correctly.
Go on then.
No. I mean, I need them to say it, and then Giacomo.
I don't know if I can say it in an Italian fashion, but I'd say Giacomo.
Giacomo.
I think so.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say they've got to send. If you can send a voice note, send us how you say the name. I love the name anyway. We've also got one from. We said giving insight into the Swiss music scene. We've got some of your fans from Switzerland watching. We've got Stefan Brechbull.
That's my dad.
Right. Okay. That's your dad. We are listening in Switzerland.
Yes, of course they are. Hello.
Amy Winterbourne, yay for music, yay for women in music.
Yes, hi Amy, great.
And Giacomo has pronunciation approved. Pronunciation.
Brilliant. Great job, Tom.
But yeah, so on that kind of theme of Switzerland and your wonderful self and can you play a song that was inspired from your kind of hometown or home country, or reminds you of Switzerland? So
Yeah. I guess one of the songs that comes to mind is the song that I actually wrote about home, because obviously I've been traveling for quite a bit now, you know, living in different countries. And so, yeah, this song is called Just Like She Told Me. Oh, yeah. And, yeah, I wrote it also for my mom and my grandma. They played a part in it. Okay, can you hear me okay? Okay, yeah, take that as a yes. On the farm where my grandma used to live, where the sky is ocean blue and the fields are green, I'm going back to see this lovely place, this lovely piece of ground. I'm heading home. When you start to know the faces passing by on the street, they are kinda like your family, but you would never greet. Where everyone's so innocent and secretly deceived, they don't know that it's their luck, never wanting to achieve anything more, anything more, anything more, anything more. I'm gonna harvest some flowers from high up the tree, wake up, get dressed. I'm gonna harvest some fruit from way up above, way up above. I'm gonna harvest some flowers from high up the tree, wake up, get dressed. I'm gonna harvest some fruit from way up above, just like she told me. Just like she told me. In the street where my mother used to live, where the books are on the shelves and the table is set, always knowing what she wants, her head high up in the air. I'm gonna be like her. When you start to know the faces passing by on the street, they are kinda like your family, but you will never greet. Where everyone's so innocent and secretly deceived, they don't know that it's their luck, never wanting to achieve anything more, anything more, anything more, anything more. I'm gonna harvest some flowers from high up the tree, wake up, get dressed. I'm gonna harvest some fruit from way up above, way up above. I'm gonna harvest some flowers from high up the tree, wake up, get dressed. I'm gonna harvest some fruit from way up above, just like she told me. Just like she told me.
Oh, Eli Bre.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wembley.
Exactly.
No, it was wonderful. I absolutely love the and by the looks of the comments, the yeah, your voice is incredible.
Thank you.
You're usually it's this phrase is usually kind of your job by day and then musician by night. But we already know that you're a musician by night. but a bit like Batwoman, but the opposite way around. You're actually a one very clever individual in the daytime as well, and
Well,
and yeah, what do you do again? What's the other life other than Rockstar Eli Bre? What's the Batwoman equivalent?
yeah, the other life during the day is being a biomedical scientist. So I just started my PhD here in Cambridge at Cancer Research UK. And what I do and what I'm really passionate about is biomedical imaging. So, I hope you haven't had to get a scan, because that would mean that you've had some kind of accident. But if you have an accident or some other problem and you go to hospital and you have a scan and you go into those big scanners, so this is either an MRI or a CT, and I do research on that to kind of make that better.
Wow. I mean, firstly, that was a wonderful explanation of what you do. I thought you were going to get very kind of like techie in when you said biomedical science. And,
no, it was really hard not to. But it's good if I managed.
that was a wonderful explanation of what you do and how it helps. And because usually people with the brain power and brain capacity of you aren't usually great at explaining what they do to us normal people.
I know what you mean. We're not all nerds in academia. There's some of us who kind of also like to, socially interact from time to time.
But yeah, and so what's the last year look like for what's COVID look like for Eli Bre and the biomedical scientist and musician? How's life been?
Yeah, well, it's been a special year, of course. Especially because I left Switzerland, where I was before, to go to New York, and I arrived in New York in the beginning of February, and so just about like a couple of weeks before the shit hit the fan. And the thing is that, yeah, it was quite weird to be in a town like New York, and it was a bit like a ghost town during lockdown, and this was the last thing I'd expected, to kind of be in New York alone on the subway, because since I was working in biomedical research, we then also started a project on COVID-19 related stuff, and so I still was going to work during all that time, and I effectively, most of the time, it was just me and the homeless people on the subway, and that was quite an experience. But then I fortunately managed to get back home in September, I think, and then in October moved here to Cambridge, which I'm really happy about, and it's great to be back.
We're glad to have you back. I mean, I don't speak on the behalf of all of Cambridge, but I'm pretty sure that all of Cambridge would say we're glad to have you back. It's one of them, yeah. And I also realised I was saying your profession wrong. Biomedical research. Sorry, I used a different phrase before, but biomedical research is that's what you describe what you do.
Yeah, it's a very
Okay.
broad term, but yeah.
No, I think I called it biomedical technology or something, or biomedical science.
Yeah, actually, that's even more accurate, because my master's studies were in biomedical technologies.
Oh, right, okay. I mean, I pretend like I look like I know what I'm talking about, but I really don't.
You do, Tom. You do.
But yeah, if I'm hoping you'll play us another song now.
Yes.
And
I can do that.
if you'd like to play your kind of the song that you've either learnt over the last year or the newest song, basically.
Well, that's a funny thing, because the newest song is the one you've just played. Well, the one you've played in the beginning. The newest song is Murder Ballad. but I think I wrote and recorded it in 2019. So that says a lot about how productive I've been during the last, I don't know if I want to say couple of years, but certainly during the last year. But yeah, I'm going to play Murder Ballad, and you can all judge if it's as good as on the recording. I'm going to put the headphones on for that.
Okay, we'll take it away.
What? Sorry?
Take it away.
I was lost when my eyes first met his. He flicked his fingers and I stood beside him. Piercing blue eyes and a mane like a lion. It felt like a lightning strike when he put his hand in mine. On the first day, I was as happy as could be. We got married to live ever after happily. But how could I know what he would come to be? Empty bottles, flinging fists, and a burning jealousy. But you know he really loves you, dear, and that makes it all okay. If he chose to break the law for you, he just shows what he can say. The priest tried to tell me what marriage was about. Once you've said yes, there's no way out. I did listen carefully with my face black and blue, stuck with a raging beast and nothing I could do. But you know he really loves you, dear, and that makes it all okay. If he chose to break the law for you, he just shows what he can say. And that's a solo. Ba-da, 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 ba-ba-da, 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 Poor Jack McCannon, the village people said, when 4 years later they found him dead, dumped in a ditch by the road southbound. And widow McCannon was nowhere to be found. Way down south, in a country no one knows, a poor old lonely soul once more slowly grows, trying to forget her past and a crime. Kate McCannon tells us, if I'm not yours, I'm mine. But you know I really loved him, dear, and that makes it all okay. If I chose to break the law for him, I had no choice because you didn't want to hear. Ba-da-ba, ba-da, ba-da, ba-ba-da-ba, ba-da.
Oh, that was wonderful, Ellie.
Thank you. Thank you.
And yeah, and just as beautiful as the you said they've heard it before, but from the comments, I'm pretty sure no one minded hearing it twice, and it was equally beautiful both times around.
Yeah. I just need a bit of liquid down my throat after singing that. But
Well, no, and for anyone that wants to hear that over and over again, it's on Spotify. It's got thousands of listens on Spotify. It's the most popular track of Eli Bre.
oh,
And
I didn't even know that.
yeah, it is. It's the most popular. We've got Carol Smith that said wonderful lyrics, brilliant song.
Thank you.
Giacomo, you murdered it. Wink, wink.
They're going.
We've got Jack on Wheels. A couple of folks tuned in from Italy as well.
Oh.
Tim Bond, go on, Ellie.
Oh, hi Tim.
But yeah, for anyone that wants to for anyone that wants to listen to that song over and over again, which I have been in the car singing along, it's on Spotify, and the link to Ellie's music is in the bio or in the description. So yeah, Ellie, I wanted to have a chat with you. So you mentioned that this year you've done a little bit of travelling, and the fact that you've gone from America to back to Britain to Switzerland. We know you're a person of the world just from the brief conversation that we've already had with you, but that's not the only places that you've been. And for a still quite young person, you seem to get. I was going to say get around then, but that's not what I mean. You you move from place to place, and I've lived in Spain, the UK, America, and really, my question was the music you played when you were growing up to the music you play now. How has your kind of sound developed from, and have people along the way or places along the way influenced what you do and the sound that you create? That's a big question for you.
It is a big question, but I can quite simply answer that with yes, sure. It has influenced my music hugely. As when I was back home in Switzerland, the only music I would really play live was with my band Hot Tea. Yes. And it was a band I had with my brother and two other friends, and we would kind of play classic rock covers and also play, write a couple of songs ourselves. But then I only ever started the Eli Bre project actually while I was in Spain. And yeah, I think for the first album that I also recorded in Spain, kind of everything that I'd accumulated over the years kind of came out in that album. And so there's a huge variety of songs on that record. There's one that even goes kind of into the reggae feel at times, and yeah, just like she told me, the first song I've played is on that record as well. And then, yeah, I guess after that, when I came to Cambridge, the songs got a bit more acoustic, because I didn't have the band behind me to kind of back up all the tracks. Because in Madrid, I actually had the pleasure to play with some incredible musicians, and that was a lot of fun. But when I arrived in Cambridge, I was basically on my own, so I kind of tried to just started making more acoustic music. And there's certainly like each and every one of those songs kind of reminds me of a certain place. For the first album, a lot of those songs are of course Madrid, and for the second EP, a lot of them remind me of the time when I first came to Cambridge. So yeah, there you go. It's traveling and kind of that nomad life has certainly had an influence on my writing and on my music in general.
Oh, nice. And is there a plan now to reassemble a band?
Well, it's probably not the best time to
Yeah.
to start to think about stuff like that. But I would love to get a band together at some point. At the moment, I got invited to play with the Institute band from Cancer Research UK. They're called Invasive Species. And I look forward to playing some songs with them whenever we're allowed to. So there you go. Let's just, I guess we just have to be patient until that becomes possible again.
Well, I'm hoping you've now got a song for us.
Yeah.
And one kind of inspired by some of these trips and travels and the long journey and voyages of Eli Bre.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna play Ceasefire then, because Ceasefire is one of those songs that you can also hear it in the lyrics. It's about leaving and about just going out there and experiencing things. And also, it reminds me of Cambridge because I recorded it here with Tim Bond, who maybe is still watching. And he played a great solo on that, which unfortunately we can't do. We can't do remotely, but maybe one day. I feel like I say that in every live online live thing that I do. Oh, I wish I could.
Well, one day we'll come out of this, and the plan for these shows is to do it in a live studio and invite you in person to come and join with working with Kevin Scott, who's a wonderful wonderful producer who's just built his own recording studio.
Oh, amazing!
So one day when the world opens up and things go back to some vague sense of normality, I'll see you in real life again.
Yeah, one day soon, hopefully.
One day soon. But yeah, for now, it's we'll hear the wonderful songs that you're about to sing us.
Yeah, this is Ceasefire. I've been thinking about a ceasefire, thinking all day long, 'cause it couldn't get me much higher. You'll just do it for a song. And I never thought about you as a man I couldn't trust, but I came here to do what I must. So let's move on, check out what's out there. With a fistful of tries, you'll get your share. With a whole lot of patience and a shitload of luck, you maybe find someone to love or two. I will put myself in front of you to protect you from the guns, but they were shooting sideways, finally hit you too. Still, I never thought about you as a man I couldn't trust, but I came here to do what I must. So let's move on, check out what's out there. With a fistful of tries, you'll get your share. With a whole lot of patience and a shitload of luck, you maybe find someone to love. If there's none of my wine left, I'll fill my glass with emptiness. If there's no young hearts left, I'll fill my mind with tenderness. And I'll move on, check out what's out there. With a fistful of tries, you'll get your share. With a whole lot of patience and a shitload of luck, you maybe find someone to love, to love, to love.
Beautiful as ever.
Very
Beautiful.
short song.
I know. I didn't realise how long it was going to be. But no, wonderful. We're actually going to cut to one of your videos now.
Oh, okay.
And then we're going to have a bit of a chat about that video afterwards. So this is... do you want to say anything beforehand about the video, or do you want me to just play it and then we chat afterwards?
I guess it's better if we talk about it afterwards, maybe.
Well, this is Down in a Hole by Eli Bre.
Bury me softly in this wood. I'll give this part of me for you. Sound rains down and here I sit, holding red flowers in a tube in bloom. Down in a hole and they put all the stones in their place. I've eaten the sun so my tongue has been burnt of the taste. Oh, you don't understand who they thought I was supposed to be. Look at me now, a man who won't let himself be. Down in a hole, losing my soul. Down in a hole, feeling so small. I'd like to fly, but my wings have been sewed in ice. Down in a hole and I don't know if I can be saved. See my heart, I decorated like a grave. I've been guilty of kicking myself in the tail. I will speak no more of the feelings beneath. Down this womb. I wanna be inside of you. I'll give this part of me for you. I wanna be inside. Sound rains down and here I sit, holding red flowers in a tube. Oh, all I wanna be inside, down in a hole, feeling so small, down in a hole, losing control. I'd like to fly, but my wings have been so enough.
Well, that was Eli Bre, and we just heard your video. Now, that video was that video recorded? When was that video recorded? First of all,
That video was recorded in New York, and as you can tell, there's some kind of scanner in the background. So that was a CT scanner at the hospital I was working at Mount Sinai. And this whole video came about because I'm a huge fan of Alice in Chains, and I have the singer, Alice in Chains singer, whose name is Lane Staley, as a background for my like on my laptop. And at one lab meeting, the professor kind of interrupted me because I was supposed to have a presentation. I was just sharing my screen, and he interrupted me, going, "Ellie, I've got a really important question. Is this Lane Staley on your background?" And so he realised that I had the singer of Alice in Chains as a background, and he's a huge fan as well. And he then sent me videos where he actually got given a water bottle by Lane Staley sometime in the 90s, and the professor then also found out that I played music, and so he's like, he had this crazy idea about doing a session next to one of the scanners, and so we did it. There you go. And that's also why it's got this little intro about the work that I'm doing, because obviously, you know, he also wanted to promote the work that is done in the lab and kind of combine those two sides.
oh, nice. Well, it's a wonderful video, and I do love the bit where you whack off the white jacket and like a superhero.
Yeah, it's quite cheesy. And then if you realise the lighting changes as well, so we kind of try to simulate a kind of early 90s look, kind of an MTV Unplugged look with the candles as well. The candles are electric, by the way, so no health and safety concerns there. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
No, I think it's great. I think it's a great song as well. And yeah, I just want to say a huge thanks for coming on the show. And we've got one more song from you, if that's okay.
Sure, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a special song because, as you can see, I'm holding a bass and not a guitar. And in my first band, Hot Tea, that I mentioned before, I was the bass player. So that's basically my first instrument, technically. So let's see if I can still play it. I'm going to play a cover. Going to play a cover by the amazing Hayley Williams. She's known as the singer of Paramore, but she's also done solo stuff. And I'm going to play the song Leave It Alone off her solo album.
Take it away.
Don't nobody tell me that God don't have a sense of humor. 'Cause now that I want to live well, everybody around me is dying. Now that I finally want to live, the ones I love are dying. Becoming friends with the news that I made, and I keep trying to untie it. Make it into something useful, maybe hang it from the window pane. Turn it into a fire escape. It tastes so bitter on my tongue. The truth's a killer, but I can leave it alone. But I can leave it alone. You don't remember my name some days, or that we're related. It triggers my worry. Who else am I gonna lose before I'm ready? And who's gonna lose me? It tastes so bitter on my tongue. Truth's a killer, but I can leave it alone. But I can leave it alone. But I can leave it alone. If you know love, best prepare to grieve. Let it enter your open heart, then prepare to let it leave. It tastes so bitter on my tongue. The truth's a killer, but I can leave it alone. But I can leave it alone. But I can leave it alone.
Oh, Ellie. Absolutely. I need to think of more words than just beautiful, but it was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. I'll
Absolutely
take beautiful
wonderful.
any day.
We've had a comment from Giacomo to say it's official. Toblerone is now the number 2 in Switzerland's export rankings.
Come on.
It is. It is. I looked at the I looked on Wikipedia. Apparently, Eli Bre is beats Toblerone.
According to representative, questionnaires.
It's Eli Bre. Toblerone followed closely by a Swiss Army knife.
Of course.
But thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me, Tom. A lot of fun.
And yeah, we'll have if anyone has any questions for Ellie or for Tom, I'm going to bring them both back in a second to kind of say goodbye. But also, if anyone has any questions or wants to ask them anything, then yeah, ping them in the chat and we'll have a little discussion. Before you go though, Ellie, on that, so we've heard some wonderful songs and there's been lots of comments in the chat about wonderful lyrics. Painting pictures, and I absolutely love the songs you write. What do you write about? Where do your lyrics come from?
Well, if I knew where the good songs came from, then I would go there a lot more often. But I think it's a weird thing somehow. Inspiration comes and goes, and I don't think I can pinpoint one thing that I write about. I think it's more, sometimes when I start writing a song, I think it's about something, and then a bit later I realize that I was actually writing about something completely different. So it's for me, it's a subconscious thing somehow. Yeah, it's hard to say. But of course I've got all the classic things to write about: love and heartbreak, and death and cheerful things like that. But yeah, I think it really depends on the circumstances. I also try to write happy songs. I've not been very successful so far, but yeah, it's a work in progress, isn't it?
It's one of those things where if you sing certain genres of music, then you lead yourself to write miserable songs, but beautiful miserable songs, and there's a kind of, I don't know whether there's a tendency to kind of go, I'm a really happy person, but I mean I don't think I mean your songs are very even though some of them have some some dark themes, but yet they're all kind of sang with a kind of wonderful joyous hope somewhere in there as well.
Oh,
that
I
kind
love
of
that
shines
you see
through.
it that way.
So yeah, I don't listen to your songs and think doom and gloom. I listen to your songs and think, I mean, Murder Ballad, even by the name it suggests. It's a great storytelling song, and
Yeah, that was actually born out of another song by a country singer called Colter Wall, because he wrote the song kind of in the reverse. So in his version, Kate McCannon gets killed by her jealous husband. And I somehow got pissed off at that idea that it's always the jealous husband killing the wife. So I kind of rewrote the song, and Kate McCannon is still, she kept her name, but this time in my version, she actually gets out of this relationship by killing the husband. There you go.
girl
So
power.
much about cheerful things.
Girl power. That's that's feminism for you. They can you can stab men just as men can stab women.
Equality.
Equality. That's the woman I was looking for. Not feminism. Equality.
Well.
But, that's the message from Eli Bre. Well, no,
Message
it's
from Eli Bre. Equality. I can live with that.
equality.
Cheers to equality.
But yeah, no, Ellie, it's been absolutely wonderful having you on, and
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna skip back to just me in a second, and then I'm gonna try and bring. As it's a live show, I've realised there's a flaw in my plans, as I haven't made a little segment to skip to now bring Tom and Ellie back together. So I'm gonna have to talk and multitask, which, as we were just talking about, men and women and equality. I'm not very good at multitasking, so I'm going to try and bring them both back. So if I'm going to try and do it without doing that very strange look where I just stare into space and go. Actually, to be fair, instead of looking at my my slightly homeless-looking face and aging eyes, then I'll put one of Tom's songs back on. The song I absolutely love, his newest song, and we'll do that, and I'll bring them both back. So, be right back.
Yeah, who's got the power now? Take the negatives and stamp them out. Now we don't get the easy life. We were living 2 steps from the edge of the knife. We were living 2 steps from the edge of a knife. It's like they say when we break down. We reach out for help and they let us drown. Now we're pulling up the roots of this old town, building it anew with our new sound. They must have known we want better than this. We'll take what's ours cause we're taking the risk. It's only the fools that think they're stopping it. It's only the fools that think they're stopping this. We get the feeling we're not heard, so we protest. And the ignorant that live it as a process. Now we ain't bleeding for the easy life, but we were living 2 steps from the edge of the knife. It's like they say when we break down. We reach out for help and they let us drown. Now we're pulling up the roots of this old town, building it anew with our new sound. They must have known we want better than this. We'll take what's ours cause we're taking the risk. It's only the fools that think they're stopping it. It's only the fools that think they're stopping this. It's like they say when we break down. We reach out for help and they let us drown. Now we're pulling up the roots of this old town, building it anew with our new sound. It's like they say when we break down. We reach out for help and they let us drown. Now we're pulling up the roots of this old town, building it anew with our new sound. They must have known we want better than this. We'll take what's ours cause we're taking the risk. It's only the fools that think they're stopping it. It's only the fools that think they're stopping this.
Right, welcome back. We will be welcoming Ellie and Tom back in just a second. If you have any questions for them, if you have any questions for either Tom or either Ellie, or if you've enjoyed watching the show tonight, put some comments in the boxes, either whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. Remember, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, either like the Unplugged In page if you like the show, or if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the Unplugged In channel. You'll have liked the wonderful music tonight, and if you want to check out more of it, in the bio there's links to Tom's music and there's also links to Ellie's music. I can now wonderfully say I've got them both back online. So if you've got any questions for them, ping them in. I'm going to let's see if this works. Hopefully we're all good.
Storm of questions.
Ah, there we go. We're back on. We're both back on. Tom and Ellie, you're both back live. Thank you, Tom. What have you been doing in the where have you moved to now? You're Oh, Tom, you're on mute. Asked to unmute. Hang on.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
I'm just in another bedroom. I had some hot chili Doritos whilst listening to Ellie. It was lovely. Beautiful moment.
Thank you.
And then when I went to, because I've gone from computer to phone, went to join back in and realised my phone had decided to uninstall Zoom, which was wonderful.
Well, huge thanks for both coming on, and I hope you've enjoyed the evening. Thanks to everyone that's watched as well. Thanks to everyone that's still watching. Oh, I've just realised that I don't know if there's any sound coming out of the thing. So give me 2 seconds. Oh no, we're all good. Okay, sorry, that was I was doubting my technical glitch there. But yeah, what's on the agenda for you two for the rest of the weekend?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Not a lot, really. Just the usual, like, lockdown stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Watch some telly, go for a run. That'll be about it.
And have any of you got any plans to do some promo some live streaming soon, or are you Tom, you're recording? That's your plan at the moment.
Yeah, just recording. Gonna have a few more live streams probably coming up. Just try and keep busy, try and keep active, and not forget the songs.
And Ellie, now you've recently invested in all of your live streaming gear and your the other musical god, the Greek god, who's Alex Machiavelli or Machiavelli, who's for out there is also in the background with Ellie. Is one of the best bass players.
My roadie today.
Your roadie today.
Roadie.
Yeah, so I don't have any particular plans. I think I'm gonna start playing around with some home recording things and see if I want to do some more live streams. But at the moment, there's nothing on the agenda.
Well, I'd love to see you both playing a live stream thing, and when, as I said, I said this to Ellie earlier, and Tom, the plan for these shows is to eventually do them live, so in real life, and link up with a gentleman called Kevin who has built a recording studio, and do them as a live kind of radio show. So hopefully I'll have you both back on as guests on that in real life. We'll do this all again, where I can give you a hug afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, hugs! Imagine that.
I know, hugs. Those weird things. But yeah, just a huge thanks to both of you again. For anyone that's watching, check them both out. If you don't know about them, either of them already, check them both out in the links below. And yeah, the next one of these will be in 2 weeks' time on Valentine's Day. I'll be doing a special Valentine's Day show. There'll be some surprises in store for you there, in typical Tom Petie humour. So check out. To Ellie, to Tom, thank you very much. To everyone watching, big thanks. And yeah, good night, everyone.
Thanks for having us.